Well, once again, a K-pop fan pissed me off. And it's not geared toward me this time so much as geared toward an idol I have a lot of respect for and happen to really love his work, and that's Changbin of Stray Kids. Now, I don't exactly know how I came through the cesspools of Reddit or comment sections. It's usually like me being awake at 2 a.m. watching cat videos, and then I'm like, maybe I'll just go look through some comments of a K-pop video or go on Reddit or whatever it is that somehow leads me down these depths that shouldn't be pursued by anybody on the internet. Because once you get, let's be honest, once you get past like the first five comments of YouTube, like is it really worth going down? The thing that I discovered, unfortunately, and there will be no pointing of fingers at anybody because I don't want to shed light on any of the negativity as much as combat it, was that there was a lot of fat shaming toward Changbin. Huh? Like, what? Are we talking about the same guy? First off, fat shaming, lame. Just in general, body shaming, lame. And second off, the man is shredded. And even before he was to the point where he is now, which is very lean, he was buff. And when you're buff, I hate to tell you, you don't have a six pack most of the time. But I'm not that beefy, but like I'm like decently beefy enough to where look, I hate to break it to you guys, but I don't have a six pack. I know. It's crazy. It hurts. It hurts you to know. You're probably just gonna unsubscribe and never watch me again. That's a risk I'm willing to take. To be honest with you, it's just crazy to me. And here's my agenda from now on, because obviously I've made some videos recently kind of combating some toxicity on in the fandoms that I really like. When I see things that I think are particularly toxic or frustrating, I'm going to make a positive video in return when I find those things, okay? So if you just see a video like this is just me trying to spread a little more positivity on the situation. So essentially, as we know, idol culture, not exactly great with anybody that has, it's like they want to serve body dysmorphia to people and make you think that, being lean 24/7 or every day of the year is a normal thing to do. It's not. Or keeping your body in a deprived state for calories or fat or carbs is a normal thing to do. Most normal people don't do that. This is usually a very circumstantial thing. You'll see like actors do to prepare for a role, and then once they're done with that role, they're back to not having a six pack. They're back to not being 8% body fat, and just to let you know, like the lowest body fat I've ever been is 9%, and that's the only time I had abs showing, and that was I was like eating my meals were literally ground turkey, kale, or broccoli and rice usually, and that was also in part because I was single and don't know how to cook, but that's beside the point. This is an important issue to me because I've had a lot of experience with this kind of self-love journey regarding physical appearance. So I've dealt with body dysmorphia. I still deal with body dysmorphia. I was going to say it like it was the past tense. It's not. I look in the mirror some days, and most other days I refuse to look in the mirror because I'd rather just not see what's on the other side. And it's a unfortunate thing, because I know a lot of people deal with it. And then when you see stuff like this, of people literally calling out somebody's body, it's like they gaslight you into thinking you're actually unhealthy. When somebody like changbin, I think you look at him and he was one of the more healthy idols I'd ever seen, because I'm like, he's not just like meeting everybody's expectations to just be like, really, really skinny or super shredded all the time or lean. He's building his body the way he wants to build his body. And I think that's amazing. And I think that should be pursued more in K-pop and hopefully pushed by companies to let idols have the shape that they want to have. But I don't know that that's going to happen anytime soon. And I unfortunately don't have a solution for you for that. So in return, like I said, we're just going to talk about how gosh darn sexy changbin is instead. Sorry, I'm just tangenting. There's no script or anything. This is something I saw. It annoyed me. And so I've dealt with body dysmorphia all my life, and I understand how people reach the point of body shaming when either they're unhappy with their own body or they are dealing with the remnants of trauma of being someone that was body shamed, or being somebody that is dealing with body dysmorphia themselves. It's a weird vicious cycle of where like, oh, well, maybe if I just bully this person instead, it will make me feel a little better about my position or how I look. Where I guarantee you, all the people that are always like fat shaming online, it's like, just ask them if they're willing to share their photo online and see what happens. You really think they're going to be showing you the 7% shredded body fat person? Spoiler. No, they're not. They're not. And you know what? Which is fine. You could look however you want to look. That's a great thing. And I'm just so bored of how people on the internet think that whenever it's something that has to do with something that doesn't harm anybody, like in somebody's life, be it how they look, who they date, like how they want to present themselves, why anybody cares? Why are you so bored that it's just like you've got nothing better to do than to shame a sexy man and then trying to thinking that he's chubby? Well, even if he was chubby, who cares? Wouldn't it be sick to have an idol that's got a little more fluff to him? I think so. But yeah, my history with it is that I definitely went through the vicious cycle of, I was a chubby kid growing up, and then I got out of high school, started working out all the time, and lost a bunch of weight, got way too skinny, and then started to bulk up more to like where I am now, which I think is a relatively I'm not like crazy fit, but I'm like pretty good fit. And I like myself a lot more, my body a lot more now. And, but it took a long time. I'm 31, and throughout my 20s, I still dealt with a lot of anger about it and, projected about body shaming and things like that. And I think ultimately, the root of the problem with a lot of these things, especially in K-pop fandoms, is that there's a lot of young voices out there, and not to say like, oh, you kids, like that's not my agenda. It's just that when you are young and you grow up on the internet now and with smartphones, you can just quickly just be like, I'm thinking this, I'm going to share it. I'm going to post this on Reddit now without it, just hasty decision. And it's unfortunate to think that that's how a lot of people will grow up, is literally just starting drama on the internet, like constantly over like communities that honestly could be so healthy and fun and welcoming for people. Like, the thing is, like, if you're trying to get somebody into Stray Kids and you're just like imagine the first thing they see is like, oh, fans shame idol over being too fat or fat shame, and then they see the picture of changbin and they're like, well, this is confusing. It's just not a good look, man. Like, and at the end of the day, we need to try and little by little change some of the things that do go on in K-pop or idol culture. And whether it be stripping back the parasocial relationships, which are terrible, being able to change body standards, let idols eat, not overworking them, not starting so young. Like, there's just a lot of things to tackle, but this is the one we're tackling today. And the last note, so I don't yap too long, I'm already at like 10 minutes, and I know this is just like me annoying rambled, and obviously and honestly, let me know what you think about the whole thing. This is something that just kind of like I don't think is hopefully commonplace for any fans, but just I found some, like I said, like sad rabbit holes, and then was like, that's enough phone for the day. But just wanted to make a comment on the fact that at the end of the day, no matter how you want your body to look, that's up to you. It doesn't hurt anybody else. So, go off. Look how you want to look. Be who you want to be. And don't worry about how other people want to look or how other people want to be. Let them do that. And let idols do that. If he wants to be buff and puff here, then let the man be buff. I think he looked incredible at every stage. And I think the thing that looks the best on people is when they're happy and when they're smiling and when they feel fulfilled in being themselves. And I think you should too. If you're ever having those thoughts of, like I said, the people that are down these rabbit holes. Besties, sorry to bring light on a weird topic. Again, I just want to make sure that when I see something negative, I just figured, this is a good opportunity to output something positive. And the positivity is that you look great the way you are. I look great the way I am. Changbin looks great however he wants to look. And I think he's just gosh darn sexy.